Hello class, welcome to another video lesson on business studies chapter 2. In our previous video we have discussed about principles of scientific management, and as mentioned there, the principles of scientific management as developed by F.W. Taylor can be implemented for the success of management through or with the help of various techniques of scientific management. So today we are going to discuss about the techniques of scientific management. F.W. Taylor has developed the principles of scientific management, and along with these principles he has also developed different methods and techniques which he has stressed upon that these are the effective implementation of these techniques in a workplace will lead to the best results in the organization or in a management. So Taylor has made these techniques after numerous experiments and observations. He has developed these techniques with the help of his associates during his lifetime under various circumstances which he has come across in his workplace and through various studies that he has made over various situations in management. So all these techniques, when implemented in the best way, will lead to standardized method of production, and it will help to achieve optimum utilization of all the available resources. So we are going to discuss the various techniques of scientific management, and there are 5 techniques of scientific management. Of these techniques, the first technique is known as functional foremanship. What Taylor has proposed that the factory work or the operations of factory should be divided into 2 departments, because the planning for factory should be not just made by one person, it should be held by different groups of people. So the basic aim of functional foremanship is to separate the planning function from the production function. That's why he has stressed on that the factory work should be divided into 2 departments, namely the planning department and the production department. Because what he felt that is a single department will not be able. So as per the technique of functional foremanship, Taylor wanted to separate the planning function from the production function. So for this he proposed that the factory must be divided into 2 departments. The work in the factory should be divided into 2 departments, the planning department and the production department, or the operational department. And he emphasized on the division of factory into these 2 departments because he felt that no single supervisor will be able to monitor all the workers at the same time, because one single supervisor may not be expert in handling all the aspects of the work related to the workers. So dividing the factory into 2 departments will make the workers free from the burden of planning and they can concentrate on production. That means those supervisors who are related to the planning department, they will focus only on the planning work, and those in the production department can focus in the production work. So he suggested that in each department, there should be a minimum of like in these two departments there should be some functional experts, some specialized functional experts, minimum 8 experts. Okay, 4 under each department, 4 under planning department and 4 under production department, so that these specialized functional experts can guide, supervise and instruct the foremen, the workers. Now this technique is an extension of Fayol's principle of division of labor. There also Fayol advocated that the work of the organization should be divided into smaller units, and then each unit should be assigned to the workers as per their capabilities. The same is like implemented here also in functional foremanship, where the factory is divided into 2 departments, and the 2 departments will be having 8 functional experts who will be focusing on various functions relating to planning and production. So minimum of 8 functional experts should be presented to supervise and give orders to the workers. Now what is the functional foremanship? Let us know this in detail. As you see here, the factory must be divided. Okay, the factory manager will have 2 various departments under him. One is the planning department and the production department. The planning department will have 4 functional specialists. These are the 4 functional specialists under planning department, and also the production department will have 4 functional specialists under its department. And these 8 functional experts will be supervising or instructing or guiding the workmen. Okay, the different workmen will be supervised and helped by these functional experts. Under the planning department, the 4 functional experts are instruction card clerk, route clerk, time and cost clerk and disciplinarian. Now what is the role of these 4 specialists or these 4 clerks? The route clerk will be supervising the steps of the work. Okay, he will be seeing the sequence of the work, like how the work will start and how the work will end. That means in the completion of the work, what are the various steps that will be followed, from the transfer of raw material to the various mechanical and manual operations. What will be the different machines involved in that work, and who will be the manpower who will be working in those operations. The time and cost clerk will be deciding the total time and cost per unit as per the main plan. He will be preparing the time that will be taken to complete the work. Also, he will maintain the cost sheet, the various costs involved in the production. The disciplinarian will be maintaining the orderly discipline environment, and he will ensure that the rules and regulations are being followed. Okay, the work is done as keeping in mind the norms of the organization. And the instruction card clerk will give the general instructions according to which the workers have to perform. So those are the functional experts under planning department or under planning in charge. There are another functional experts under the production department, which are namely speed boss, gang boss, repair boss and inspector. The job of the speed boss will ensure that the work is completed on time. That is, he will keep a check on the time taken or the desired time for completing the work. In what time the work has been completed when the actual production is taking place. The gang boss will be keeping the machine, tools and materials available. He will arrange all these equipments the materials required during the production. We will make the arrangement for all these things. The repair boss will be in charge of repairing or any maintenance of machinery. We will see that the machines are in proper order. Also, if there is any repairing required or if there is any maintenance work required relating to the machines or equipments, he will ensure that those are repaired on time and well maintained. And the inspector will check the quality of production. We'll see that the output produced is up to the mark. So that is the concept of functional foremanship, which is one of the technique of scientific management. And these various functional experts, or we can call them foremen, they have to be energetic, intelligent, honest and well educated, so that they can handle their particular role in the best way, and they will supervise the workers in performing their work by combining the mental work and the physical work and give the output to the best of their efficiency. The next technique of scientific management is standardization and simplification of work. Now this is actually a combination of two techniques, standardization and simplification. So we'll discuss it in two parts. Standardization. Standardization means like the output possible if standard is maintained right from the selection of tools, equipments and machine to use. That means when the standard tools and equipments, the methods, the machines, the working conditions which are set for production, if these are well established or there is a standard being decided for them, then the quality of output will be obviously be good. It will be up to the mark. Now standardization is not just relating to the arrangement of production, it's also relating to the quantity and quality of output. So they also have to set the standards in relation to the size, type, weight and measure of the output, like of what size the products will be finally produced as the final output, or what shall be the weight of various types of products that are being produced. Their standard weight should be established. It's not that say if they are producing washing bathing soaps, then they may not make one soap of a small size and other of big size of the same type. If they are producing soap of say they are setting a standard weight of say 100 gram, then all the soaps which are manufactured in that lot should be of 100 gram. Likewise, that is the standard set for the product. So the basic objectives of standardization is that to reduce a given line of product to fixed size, shape and characteristics. That is, for a particular line of product, there should be a fixed size, shape and characteristics being set, and the production of that has to be as per this set of size, shape and characteristics. Also, to allow interchangeability of manufactured parts. So when there are machines or tools, so it should be such maintained that any of its manufactured part can be easily replaced or it can be easily changed. It's not that if a machine has stopped working, then the entire machine has to be replaced. They have to know the standard of the machine and the particular part of the machine which needs to be repaired. And all this will ultimately lead to maintain the quality standards, and it will also be setting the performance standards. That is, what shall be the standard way in which the men or the workforce who are working should be giving their efforts So the standard of performance for men is also decided by standardization of work. They set like to this level or to this quality or quantity, the output and the efforts have to be put in by the workforce. The second concept of this technique is simplification of work. The simplification means eliminating the superfluous varieties or dimensions and diversity of products. It's mainly relating to production unit who is engaged in different variants of a line of product. Say for one product, if they are producing different variants, different types of that product. Maybe say if it's say bathing soap, then they are producing the soap in different sizes and flavors. So if one, like suppose they are making say 10 variants of a product, and of those 10 variants 5 variants are not working or their demand is not that high, then they can reduce the production of such a variant and they can maintain or focus more on the production of the other variants whose demands are more. So if such simplification of work is adopted to eliminate the unnecessary variants and focusing on those which will be bringing more production or more income to the organization, then it will lead to economic production and will reduce the labor and material costs. Because if they are unnecessary spending a lot on different variants of the same product, they will require to maintain a lot of stock, and also a lot of labor and a machine will be involved, and unnecessary burden on the total cost will be coming. So when this unnecessary variants or diversity of products is removed, it will lead to simplification of work, and the efforts of the workers will be focused on producing those products or those output which will be more profitable for the management. So the objective of simplification of work is mainly to avoid unnecessary movements at the actual workplace, also to reduce the cost of labor, machines and tools, as well as increasing the savings. It will also reduce holding of unnecessary stock and best utilization of equipments and turnover. The third technique of scientific management which we shall take is mental revolution. Now this technique was mentioned when we were discussing the principles of scientific management, to bring harmony and to make the management and workers work in cooperation and not individualism. There is a need to change the attitude of the both workers and management, and this change in their attitude of both workers and management will bring the feeling from competition to cooperation. So this revolutionary change in their attitude is termed as mental revolution, because in an organization the management always feels that workers, they tend to work slow, they handle the tools carelessly or machines carelessly, and they compromise on the quality of work. On the other hand, the workers are always blaming the management for exploiting and underpaying them for their labor. So this difference in attitude should be changed for the betterment of the organization. So a revolutionary change is required, which Taylor has termed as mental revolution. So both the parties should realize that their efforts need to be brought together. Okay. So the workers should put in their best efforts to increase the size of the surplus, and management also should be sharing the surplus with the workers. So it involves a complete change in the mental outlook and attitude of workers and management towards one another, from competition to cooperation. And management should create a pleasant working conditions, and workers should also devote with loyalty, and they must focus on increasing the profit. The objective of mental revolution is that it tends to bring the change in the mental attitudes of workers and management, so that there is cooperation between both the workers and management, and instead of feeling suspicion about each other, they should adapt to systematic thinking and should create a feeling of belongingness. So for this, management can organize some motivational meetings, some training programs, and at the same time they should listen to the complaints of the workers or receive their suggestions, and they must recognize their best suggestion, and all this will lead to better production and achievement of organizational goals. So these were the first 3 techniques of scientific management. We have 2 more techniques which we shall discuss in the next video.